According to the U.S. Census 2010, there is 6,920,888,016 people in this world. According to Medline Plus, 1 in 8,000 people is affected with muscular dystrophy. This means that 865,111 people have muscular dystrophy. Dr. Fernando Morales is conducting a research in Costa Rica about el mejoramiento del diagnóstico molecular de la distrofia miotónica tipo 1 mediante el estudio del mosaicismo somático. From El Paso, I will be informing you about the disease and its effect. According to the U.S. National Library of Medicine, muscular dystrophy is a group of inherited disorders characterized by progressive muscle wasting and weakness. This disease particularly affects the lower legs, hands, neck, and face. Myotonic dystrophy is an inherited gene defect that can only be diagnosed accurately through a genetic test. Being an autosomal dominant inheritance, if one parent carries the defective gene, the child has a 50% chance of acquiring this disorder. The ability to move and control our hands is affected by this disease. It amazed me that when I asked one of the consent forms to be signed, Manny, who suffers from muscular dystrophy, was only able to stamp his signature in the line. Many times we spend hours looking for the right shoes, but if we look at our soles, you can see something that not everybody can. That is a worn out sole, which shows that we have the ability to use our legs to move from one place to another. When we are toddlers, we try to impress our parents with our independent actions, such as taking our first steps, making a mess with our spoons when we're eating, and even going potty on our own. Muscular dystrophy forces a person to be dependent on their loved ones. When a disease affects your physical aspect, you suddenly feel more aware of who is looking at you. This leads you to change little things in your life, like to which side do you do your hair, or even the way you smile. I know this because sometimes in my pictures I miss my mom's pretty smile. We don't realize that being different is beautiful. Since muscular dystrophy is a progressive disease, it eventually leads to other complications, such as respiratory and heart problems, these often ending the lives of those with this disease. Although research is being done, there is no cure to muscular dystrophy, or a way to even stop the progression of the disease, leaving these individuals with constant physical therapies and a life change. The financial debt that is accumulated in order to maintain all physical therapies and avoid any complications can build a stress not only on the individual who suffers from the disease, but also in their families. How to pay when every first of the month all bills come knocking on your door. It's important to educate and mobilize our community. Not only tell them what is muscular dystrophy, but plan events such as the Special Olympics to plant a seed in them. Only when we are faced with what we don't have will we be able to unite and help our community be aware and make a difference. Walking into the Academic Service Building, I noticed this button, which opens the door. If you push it, then the door will open. How would a person that has no strength in their arms or hands open this door if they cannot push it? UTEP is growing, and we have seen it every time that we walk from class to class. Making the entrances to the buildings and classroom more accessible to individuals with these limitations is essential. Asking that important question, will you marry me? Or saying that, I do, is almost like a fairy tale moment. But do we know what genes we are marrying to? By promoting prenuptial assessments, we would be able to be more aware of any diseases that we are predisposing our children to. The limitations that I faced for this Photovoice project were the short time frame that I was given, which left a need to analyze deeper. and that the disease was seen through my eyes and not from someone who has to live with it. When we think of a clown, we imagine one doing tricks and acrobats to make us smile. If we look closer at this colorful wig and wonderful smile, you will see a young man who lost his ability to move his arms and hands. And yet, on this day, he chose to humanize his disease by dressing as a clown and bringing a smile to an ill little girl. We can change the limits that are put upon us. We just need to reach for the sky. At this moment, you are free to remove the plastics from your hands and regain total movement. And I ask you, what will you do with this ability to move?